Hello, beautiful muses. Welcome to Cosmo Muse Tarot and another 5-minute Friday yes or no question. Pick a card. So it's up to you guys to frame your yes or no question. You choose your question. And just some notes before we dive into picking your pile for your question is definitely just to simplify and make sure the messages come through as clear as possible. Frame your question so that the yes would, if there is a, for some of you, yes or no may not necessarily have a negative or positive connotation, but if you are really eager for a specific answer, phrase the question so that the yes is the answer you're looking for, and excuse me, and either the positive outcome or the outcome you're seeking. Beyond that, a few other little notes. This is definitely meant for questions you're already energetically involved in. My typical example, if you're coming here asking if you're going to win the lottery, not the right reading for you. And 5-minute Friday is sort of a just a catchy way to say a very short reading, but oftentimes these will go to like 7 minutes, just disclaimer there. All right, that being said, we have 4 stones for you to pick from today. Pile 1 is jade. We've got pile 2 with pyrite. We've got pile 3 with snakeskin agate. And pile 4 with blue orca agate. All right, for those of you that like the breath work and find that helpful in choosing your pile, we'll do that now. So take a deep breath in, suck the air and oxygen up to the spot between your brows. Hold it there, suck in just a little more to add pressure, and then out loud, opening the crown chakra, inviting in both that third eye place, that inner higher wisdom, as well as the crown, opening crown chakra and inviting in inspiration and guidance. All right, so if you need more time to feel into and ask the piles which one has the most aligned message for you, you can pause here. Otherwise, the timestamps are in the descriptions and you can jump straight to your reading. All right, see you guys. Hello, pile 1. Welcome to your 5-minute yes or no reading. And just a quick intuitive hit I got off the stone, nothing to do with the yes or no, but it may help you identify whether this is really your right pile if you're questioning that at all. Is I did feel like whatever this question is about, it does have some weight to it, not in terms of like feeling heavy. It's just like a question that is of somewhat importance, maybe not intense importance, but it's not just like a silly question, but there's like either this is your energy in general or just something going on right now around you. It's like there's this hyper awareness, so there's lots of sort of distractions from really feeling an ability to give full attention to this question, but like when you can, it does feel very calm and present and like a question you should be asking, sort of thing. Okay, so that's just sort of a little thing that may or may not help you. Okay, but we are going to start with the tarot cards and see from that if we can tease out the yes, the no, or if it's more of a maybe thing going on. So we've got, and in these yes or no's, I just do upright. So 2 of materials. Ooh, the Empress. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that this is not just a silly question. There's some weight here for sure. And then two of voices. Yeah, you're sitting on the fence with something, you're juggling things. What I want to say here is I feel like with the two of voices and two twos coming through, it's sort of like there's some polarity here, and it feels more like should I do this or should I do that, and not necessarily looking for the one answer being necessarily way more positive than the other. It's sort of like, which thing should I do? And to me, it feels like I need to focus more. And that makes sense with that hyper awareness I felt. It's like there's too many things you need to, in order to give some balance and focus and, a lot of times to really get that growth we need, if we really are looking to excel at something and really grow in something, we really have to limit ourselves as well. And so to me, this is feeling like, and then seeing the Empress, like there's so much fertility and so much possibility around you, but it's sort of like, maybe that you're juggling too much. And I hate to say this, that I'm not going to give you a clear yes or no here. This is more the maybe way, but actually I don't even want to say maybe. The way I want to phrase this is with that polarity, with that this or that type of thing. The two of voices to me is saying that you have an inner knowing of what to cut, what to focus on, what to refine, and that yes, you should do, if that's your question, should I cut some things out, then that's a yes. If this is just like, should I do this or that, this is saying like, which one you should choose, and you need to honor your voice and honor your authenticity and that inner, ask very specific questions to your body. Do I want to, and I'll use something like really minor, like a silly question, like, do I want to, say you have two restaurants you're choosing from, we'll say like an Italian restaurant and a Mexican restaurant. Get really specific. Do I want Italian tonight? And wait for that yes or no. And then if it's a no, do I want Mexican food tonight? And then maybe that's the yes. Like, I think you need to get really, really specific and ask yourself what you want, but one question at a time, to kind of distill and get clear answers and directions about each, and then maybe you refine it. Maybe it's like, okay, I got the yes for Mexican, but like, which Mexican restaurant? Or there's this huge menu, what do I want on it? Do I want a burrito? No. Maybe that's the answer you get from your body. Do I want fajitas? Maybe that's a no again. Do I want tacos? Yes. That kind of thing. So just like, start sort of broad and then go narrow it down a little, and then maybe you've narrowed it down to tacos. Do I want chicken tacos? No. Do I want carne asada tacos? No. Do I want vegetarian tacos? Yes. Whittle it down. It's like, within you what you want, but there's just like so much possibility with the Empress and so many things you're juggling. You just need to just kind of whittle down that list. And what I would say here is that it's the reason why this is more on you is that there is, and this is sometimes what can feel so confusing with like picking that direction and really excelling and growing in one specific thing and limiting, is there's a lot of fertility around you. There's a lot of potential, and anything you decide to do has this beautiful capability of flourishing, but you need to not spread yourself so thin and get really specific of like, well, what is my, see the light at there's like all these places and space, planets to explore, but there's a light in her center, and that's the one, you know, she's narrowing down to really move towards and totally dedicate to. And that's sort of like the metaphor for where you're coming from, is like there's all these possibilities, but what's that true north for you that you need to just like really hone into this like one point of light, and really get growth there. Wow, I've already gone to 7 minutes. I apologize. This is going to be more like a 10-minute reading. Lot to say there. Okay. Moving on to the astrology cards. I feel like we got so much information from these. I'm just going to breeze through the others. 11th house, community, Venus, beloved. And I love Venus coming out under the Empress because Venus rules the Empress. And then transits, climate. Yeah, this is not a, all this juggling, all these possibilities, this is not going to last forever. So both know that naturally the things will thin out, but also know that there is this window for you to take advantage of, to really pick something that's very aligned and thinking about the future. Which one's going to cultivate a climate around you? That's the word here, climate around you that feels beloved, that feels luscious, that feels pleasurable. That's the thing to go to here if you're still having trouble finding those answers from your body. You know, rephrase that question then. Does Italian feel beautiful and luxurious and pleasurable to me? No. Does Mexican feel beautiful? You know, like right now, and maybe that's the yes. And then this 11th house here too is showing that there's maybe some collaboration or a lot of things around friendship involved in this as well, whatever your question is. I think it's just sort of a signifier to help kind of, yeah, show what this is about. Oh, beautiful. Okay, and then the sigil card we got is Yoni coming right out on top of the Empress and Venus, which is so perfect. This is all about what gives you pleasure, what makes your life, what do you want to receive into your life? What will bring beauty and pleasure into your life? Those are the decisions you should be making with yeses. Okay, last two cards, just little tea leaf oracles. We've got Bat. Take care, enemies are working against you. And Bread, period of prosperity and abundance. Yeah, I wouldn't be too worried about that bat thing, but as you're refining and asking your questions and sort of narrowing down, that may be something to process too. Are there, the way I'm reading this isn't like, you know, and maybe that resonates. There's like some enemy out there, like, someone specifically you feel is blocking you. But if that doesn't resonate, the way I'm feeling for most of you is that, like, as you kind of whittle down and really find that focus as you ask specific questions to yourself, it's like, are there any blocks here for me too? So even when you get the yes, you know, a no is a no, move on. But when you get the yeses, then ask also, are there any blocks here for me? And if something comes up for you that's like, yes, there's a block, start really pick that topic apart to find some sort of nuance and way past the block. Because yeah, I mean, prosperity and abundance is within this question. And I think that what I want to say about this is anything you whittle down and choose to go towards has the potential for prosperity and abundance. So, you know, do your duty of whittling some things out, because if you spread yourself too thin, that's going to be a block from you getting that prosperity and abundance, from that growth that you are seeking, from really taking advantage of this fertile time. Okay, sorry, 11 and a half minutes. That's way over time, but yeah, it was a big question, I guess. So this is where I'm going to leave you guys. I always appreciate thumbs up, little comments, subscriptions, and hope to see you in more readings. See you guys. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your 5-minute Friday yes or no question. Just a warning, Pile 1 went to like 11 minutes. So I feel like I might be on one today. So maybe plan on a little more than 5 minutes. Okay, anyway, intuitive hit, I got off of your stone, just jumping into this. And it doesn't necessarily have to do with the yes or no, just more of a kind of identifying if you have any sort of question. If you picked the right pile, this may help kind of solidify that for you. Is the feeling I got about this is like, this has the potential, whatever your question centers around, it has the potential to really hold some gravity in your life, but like you're treating it like fool's gold, like it's not very like you're overlooking the importance and maybe kind of being too much of a light touch and lack of focus or interest even in the question. So if that doesn't resonate for you, yeah, I don't know. Maybe pick another pile. If you still feel like this is your pile, but that doesn't resonate, that's fine too. Maybe something will come out that will better explain that sense I was getting. Okay, but to get into the actual yes, no, or maybe, we are going to use the tarot cards to see what we can tease out about that. Oops, and I'm not doing reversals. So we got the Devil. Oh, I have an idea here. Okay. Because I did keep hearing the word fool's gold for this, which I know that's associated with pyrite, but it's not always the association that comes to me. 7 of Inspiration and Justice. I think what's happening here is there's like a deep, oh, see, and the candle just went out. I was debating whether I should light a new candle going into this. Yeah, I'm gonna say that this is a no, but I want to add context to this. I think whatever this question is about, there's a certain attachment to some sort of outcome that's adding suspicion, it's adding competitiveness, it's adding a little bit of a veneer to your life that isn't authentic. And it's sort of like you need to reevaluate this question and ask what it is you're so attached to about this question. And it's, to me, this isn't saying that there's like an ultimate no here. It's a no on the surface. But I think if you can rephrase this question or really like reanalyze your question and figure out where there's maybe this need to control something, an inflexibility about a certain outcome, it's really going to put down some guards, really realign you with like a more authentic sense of self and help you to kind of, to me, this is no to your question, but this is yes to rephrasing your question now after you've done a little bit of processing here, because this question can be rebirthed in a way that is much more aligned to what you actually want versus some sort of competitive or attachment drive you've got. You need to just do a little bit of inner work on what is it I actually want or I'm looking for here, and reframe it. And when you reframe it, if it feels like you've really, really done that work and actually really reframed the question and not just like reworded it, there is a yes waiting for you. There is the potential of the yes, but you can't, not in the way you're thinking about this right now. Yeah, anyway, let's see if we can get a little more context from the astrology cards. 12th house, yeah, there's some sort of like, and coming under the devil, there's some kind of veneer, exactly, fool's gold. There's some kind of fool's gold here. There's a veneer that's not right. There's illusions here. And if this could just feel confusing to you as well, and maybe you sort of sense, yeah, there's like a veneer and there's a weird attachment to this question. And so if you don't know quite how to get past this, what this 12th house would say is time. Give this time and it will settle itself. The new question will settle into you. So just like step back from this, detach, look for the illusions, look for new inspirations, let go of things that are trying. I think this is a key message actually. Anything that's trying to shed or dissolve from your life, allow it to. You've grown past something about this. This is not a time to be fixed or try to hold on to certain things, no matter how painful that may be. Sometimes shedding and loss and things dissolving out of our lives, on the other side of that brings a rebirth into a much, much more vital thing. So maybe just some time for you guys, and you'll know when it's right to rephrase that question. Taurus, cultivate. This could have to do with money. It could have to do with self-worth. It could have to do with finding sort of a pleasurable connection to life. This may just feel sort of confusing right now and like trying to hold on to the past. And then Saturn structure. Yeah, Saturn and the devil are very linked. It's like you're trying to hold on to the past, and it's time to let those structures, it's time to let anything that's you know, it's eluding your grasp, just let it go. You've grown. Anything leaving right now, it's because you've grown out of it. So don't have fear about that. And like a rebirth is coming. And I think that even like, I almost don't even feel like you're going to need a new question to settle into you. I just think something's going to happen. You're just going to let go of this question, and with a little bit of time, just like a whole different point of view is going to birth out of you that's really fresh and tender and beautiful. Okay, let's look at these last couple. Yeah, dormant. You may feel like things are not moving for you, but this is a time you need to rest a little. You need to dream a little. You need to just sort of let go into a flow of something. Go into the dreamland and just allow things to shed right now, because the next step after the dormant is like a rebirth. You need rejuvenation, you need rest, you need, to recuperate. Okay, so last little things here. We've got Jug, lighthearted and carefree time. Yeah, I think you just need to go into dreamland. You need to kind of let go of things trying to, just ease up your grasp on life right now, because there's possibility in that dormancy, but it's things that haven't come into form yet, that aren't modeled for you in any way, and you just have to kind of like let go into it and be light and weightless and sometimes just being playful just opens your perceptions up into a very different space. Dog, close up, pleasure with close friends. So yeah, you've got support system around you, this feels like, and so lean into that. Have some fun with friends, give yourself a little bit more dream time, let things be a little looser, a little lighter, and yeah, in time, let's find a timeline for you. I want to say this is months. These kinds of processes don't happen overnight. So whatever comes up here, well, this could be weeks or months, just not days or years. Weeks or months, whatever resonates to you. 6 weeks or 6 months, whatever feels right to you, of this need to decompress, let go. And honestly, 6 months is not a lot of time for this kind of a process. But if you've been in this, if you feel like you've been in this for a long time, it could be the 6 weeks. If you feel like this is just coming on, which I think is a lot of you because you're still in that Devil and Saturn mode of like holding on to not letting go of how things have been, then I think it's a 6-month process. Sorry to say, but it can be a really beautiful process, really inspiring, really freeing, really compassionate, really heart expanding time to just sort of let go kind of thing. All right, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. I hope this resonated. If it did, I always appreciate the thumbs up, little comments, and of course subscriptions. And I hope to see you guys in more readings. Hello, pile 3. Welcome to your yes or no reading. Just a warning, piles 1 and 2 went over 10 minutes, so maybe be ready for a little longer. I don't know why these answers are coming out in much longer form than typical, but we'll see what happens, but just a possibility there. Okay, before we dive in, just a quick intuitive hit that I got off of your stone. Ooh. Doesn't have to do with the yes or no, just sort of an identifier to help you feel into if this feels like the right pile for you. It was sort of like whatever is going on here, it's like not everything is as it appears, but not necessarily in a bad way. It's like there's a really unique thing under the surface here. So depending on where this goes, whether it's a yes or a no or a maybe, I think whatever it is, you're being led into something very unique and interesting that's a little below where you are, the surface you're at the moment. So yeah, interesting message. Okay, we are going to use the tarot cards to see if we can tease out that yes, no, or maybe. And not doing reversals. So Page of Voices, yeah, something very interesting, unique coming out here. The Moon, something's a little nebulous. And the Hermit. I'm gonna say yes to this. I'm gonna say this is a yes, but not an immediate yes. Like this needs a little time. It's like it's like something within you is in incubation that you've given some rhythm and process to something in your life that is developing an instinct in you, but something about that instinct and that personal kind of sovereign sense around what this question has to do with. It's sort of like in a soupy place in that like primordial sea right now. It's trying to organize, it's assimilating. And when it does, it's like this very, very, very unique mentality, mental capability, ideas, connectivity, really kind of sets into you in a really fun and intriguing and yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what I was feeling. There's something under the surface right now, but what actually comes through when this comes into its yes in time is going to be very interesting and not quite what you're seeing yet. But it's saying, like, to me, there's like, stay focused. Some things are still fuzzy here, but keep focused, keep doing what you're doing in terms of certain processes. It's like something is patterning there. Don't give up on it, because it's really going to bring just like a new, fresh perspective, not just into you, but into what you're able to express and the interest people will have around this. I hope that makes sense. Okay, let's see what the astrology says here. This may go a little faster than the others. We've got Descendant with invitation, 9th house with exploration, and Capricorn achieve. Okay, yeah, I feel like whatever is patterning into you, it may have to do with your place in the world, literally like moving place in the world, or broadening your perspective in an interesting way. I feel like that's what the soupiness is about and the unclarity is about, is like your perspective is rearranging. And when it does rearrange, when it finally congeals and kind of comes to your surface, there's like a new kind of command and authority and stability you're going to have. So it could have to do with career. It could have to do with relationships. I'm seeing this more as a career thing that is going to attract kind of attention and people wanting to be involved in what you're doing or partner with you in some way in what you're doing, maybe even getting like an agent or signing a contract of some sort, a new job or something. Yeah, anyway, that's what I'm seeing. So really cool, but give it time. Keep doing what you're doing. Give it time. It'll be really clear to you when this happens. It's like you're going to just step into this like really unique, strong sense of command with ideas and your voice and your perspective about something. Okay, and then we have limbo right under the moon. Yeah, it's like your perspective is rewiring, it's assimilating, it's nebulous. Just let it be there. It's fine. You will come out of this in a way that you can't even fathom right now. It'll be really cool. Okay, and last two things, we've got finger, warning you of a problem either now or in the near future, and this pointing kind of at limbo and the moon. What I want to say is I think you feel like this is a problem. That you feel like this limbo is a problem, and maybe you're judging yourself or in this hopelessness or just super confused and it feels problematic about your future. And this is just like, no, relax into the limbo, relax into the nebulousness. Assimilation takes time. Just keep at it. And then rooster, an arrogant, boastful person you should not cross. Well, yeah, if that connects, you know, I feel like you would know who this is. Maybe there's someone right now too that makes this more confusing for you, or that makes you feel bad about yourself, or that has you feeling jealousy in a certain way. Whatever it is, if there's someone bringing negative vibes into your path, it's time to kind of put some boundaries for the present moment until you feel like you've popped out of this around that person. Yeah, if there's someone around you that feels arrogant or boastful, I think, yeah, it would make this process of being able to enjoy limbo really difficult. So, and even if that's your own, like a voice within you that has like wants to be more arrogant and boastful, or maybe that's something you are used to being able to connect to. Not that these are like, you know, more like a confidence or something, or like a clarity and a confidence, which I think of with Rooster too. If that's something you're used to having and it's frustrating to you right now, like just, you know, put that to bed a little. But I feel like for most of you, it's like a person maybe in your environment that's a little bit cocky, that's making it hard for you to feel good about this limbo process. And yeah, up to you whether you feel like you need to cut them totally out or you just need to put up some boundaries for right now so that you can enjoy this moment of limbo-ness, dreaminess, limbo-ness, assimilation. Yeah, so that's, well, you know, because this feels time sensitive, I am going to roll a dice here. And I want to say this is going to be weeks for you. This doesn't feel too deep of a limbo. I feel like you've been in this limbo for a long time, and that's why I'm feeling this sort of frustration here. And I'm seeing this sunrise, like the sun is coming. So whatever this is in the dice, it's going to be weeks. The number will be weeks for you to feel like this new kind of clarity and intriguing, unique, fresh thing comes out of you. So 3 weeks, just, yeah. So I hope that gives you some calm, like 3 weeks from today, things will feel a lot more clear, a lot less nebulous, and a little more fresh. So yeah, I think when you sometimes have a time frame that allows you to be like, okay, I can step back for 3 weeks. That's fine. This isn't forever, and I'm going to take 3 weeks to enjoy limbo. I'm going to take 3 weeks to enjoy this moment of assimilation and not totally like sensing something's assimilating, but not fully having a grasp on what or why or how, just letting it be. All right, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. These are going so long today. I don't know anyway, whatever. I gave you the warning beforehand, so all right. Anyway, if this resonated, I always appreciate the thumbs up, comments, subscriptions, of course, and I hope to see you guys in more readings. Hello, Pile 4. Welcome to your yes or no question reading. A little intuitive hit I got off of your stone was sort of like, and this doesn't have to do with the yes or no. It has to do with helping you to confirm if this feels like your right pile in case there's any questions there. I think you're coming into this question with a lot of responsibility and focus and clarity. So yeah, it was very simple and straightforward to me. And just a disclaimer, piles 1 through 3 went way over like 11 minutes. So I'm going to try and do this quicker for you guys because I did feel a more clear energy around your stone. But no promises. So if you only have the 5 or 7 minutes, maybe come back a little later when you have more like 10. Anyway, but we'll see. I'm going to try and shorten that. Okay, we're going to try and tease out the yes or no here with the tarot cards. So we've got 5 of inspiration, 6 of lovers, and 5 of emotions. Well, clearly something around you is changing. And so the way, I'm not getting a clear yes or no because of that. I think it's interesting that I felt a lot of clarity around you guys, and then the cards are giving me this feeling of just like a lot of changes happening. So I don't know, however you need to hold that, or if that makes total sense to you. What I'm gonna say here is I think there's something deeper in you, and I think you know that, and I think that's what the clarity is about. There's something deeper here that you need to get into, that all this change is rooted in. There's something deeper within you that has transformed, that has healed, and it's creating change in your outer world. And I don't know how to give that a yes or a no specifically. So what I want to say here is, wow, all of these piles have been so nebulous today. It's interesting. Is to just allow change to take place. Maybe how I'm saying this will clarify for you the yes or no specifically. And that's what I'm feeling is like, because there's so much changing, the way people have phrased questions or what they're wondering about may be incredibly diverse, which makes it hard for this pile's energy to have a real clear cut anything. But what I can say is like, look at that deeper thing that's just healed. What is just healed in you? Like new understanding of like a childhood pattern, of your upbringing, of your inner child. Something is healed there. Something's integrated, something's been witnessed, something's cleared out. And I think when you can look within and be like, oh yeah, this blah, blah, blah happened. Whatever your question is about will make sense, and will make sense of all this change going on around you. And I think through that, you'll be able to decipher for yourself what the yes or no is here. But what I would say is like, allow the change to happen, because it's a reflection of some healing that's taken place. So it's just it's like gathering new, it's like what's happening is like you're gathering new tools. And as you do that, old tools are kind of no longer that useful for you. And it can be hard sometimes to change our tools. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. It's a little, probably one of the most nebulous answers I've given in one of these yes or no's. But I feel like if you're at this pile and it felt right from the start, this will probably make sense to you, even though it doesn't totally make sense to me. Anyway, let's look at the astrology here, see if that can clarify anything. Ascendant, yeah, I think just something debilitated discomfort, and Jupiter, abundance. Yeah, you've gone through a lot of really underneath this question, and it's like under the surface, I don't think you've been aware of this thing as being source material for the question you're asking, is you've gone through a lot of discomfort. You've gone through witnessing things that were dark and stuck and repressed within you. There was discomfort you've had to go through. There was something debilitated within you you've had to witness and really uproot and allow to be seen, not just by you, but like in some healing practices. That's just sort of it's rewiring a new sense of personality, a new sense of self, a new sense of vitality coming through that wants to be abundant, that's leading you somewhere more abundant. And that's why all these changes are taking place. It's not just, it is stemmed from this healing that has taken place, but it's leading you to a more expanded sense of self, sense of personality, sense of adventure in your life. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. I think it's a really cool thing. But look under the surface, what sounds like that? And then how does that maybe give you insight about these changes happening, and how can you let go into the changes knowing that the reordering taking place is leading you somewhere more adventurous and more expansive. Okay, let's look at the sigil. Solar, yeah, it's like your light is turning back on. It's time to thaw out certain emotions that had been stuck, thaw out some sense of self. You know, we're all very dynamic people, like onions that have many multiple layers, and I think some of those layers had been repressed in you, and it's like something has thawed, and a new vitality and new dimensions and aspects of personality are now free and feeling playful, and yeah, just bringing a lot of change. And it's I'm seeing it as very positive, so I hope that also helps something there. Okay, last, just some little tea leaf oracles. We've got dark woman, dealings or relationship with a woman with dark complexion or hair. So I'll leave that up to you guys to decide what that means in your life. And then wind chimes, peace and harmony. That's beautiful. And I love that with that, you know, the six or the lovers here. It's like a new sense of self really coming into being and more at peace with yourself here. So yeah, that's where I'm going to leave you guys. I definitely ended in much less time than the other 3 piles, but I still did go quite a bit over. But anyway, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. I hope that was helpful. If it resonated, I always appreciate thumbs up, little comments, subscriptions, and hope to see you in more readings in the future.